broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yeah! We gotta rock out, we never do, right?
Yes.
Hello. Welcome back to our Shameless After Show. We are talking about episode 10, Southside Rules. I'm your host, Hayley Clover. Unfortunately, Joyce couldn't be with us tonight, so I'm taking over. But I'm joined with my gorgeous co-hosts, JJ.
Hi guys, I'm JJ Jurgens. And hey guys, I'm Drea Renee.
So, another good episode, always, and we're getting down to the end, so stuff's really starting to, kind of wrap up, get started.
Really good.
So, I think we need to start talking about Debbie and Luca's relationship that's continuing.
Can you talk about his body real quick? You know, let's take moments for people. I like to take moments. I'll take a moment for his little chest.
He is just, they're what, adore babe, adore love, they are both just adorable.
Right.
Like, they're so cute together, and his little smile, and I love it.
Well, and it's fun for us to see now because he came on the show, and for our audience that got to see how he actually was. To me, he's kind of the same on camera. He's like a little shy, but then kind of just, he says like his one little word, like, oh, you're cute.
Yeah.
Oh, you're cute. Oh, no, you're cute.
I want you.
Exactly. The exchange was so cute. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
I did not expect them to be like that, like him so soon. Like they just got together. They just started kissing, and all of a sudden, like you said, he was like, I want you. And she was like, you have me. And he's like, no, I want to have sex with you. He was like, whoa.
And I thought she was going to be like, whoa, hold on. She's like, okay, that's cool. I was like, all right, Dad.
And it's so cute too, because she's just like, well, are you sure? Because like the last time it didn't go so well. It got a little confusing.
He's like, I'm not confused. I was like, dang, all right.
Okay, well, and this is the problem. So we see her asking Fiona to take her to Planned Parenthood.
Which was so awkward for me.
Really?
It's just because I know she's growing up, like she has curves now in her little jeans. I'm like, Dad, what?
Well, and it's not the first time she's asked.
Yeah.
Right.
When she first met her new, beau, that's where she was. That whole episode, that's what she was trying to do, was go to Planned Parenthood. But then it never ended up happening. So now she asked Fiona to go, but after meeting his family at the barbecue,
oh my God,
we see she has some ulterior motives.
Yeah.
She finds out that this girl that's now part of the family is part of the family because she had one of his brother's kids. So she's thinking,
right. I can choose my own family. Yeah,
which really scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's too bad because like you said, we thought she was doing like the right thing. Like I was very impressed that she asked to go to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
I'm like that, and feels comfortable enough to ask, Fiona. I'm like, that's great that they have that relationship, that they're able to do that. And she kind of called her out on by saying, wait, when she said they hadn't been together too long, and she's like, wait, we've been dating longer than you guys, and you got married. So she's kind of like, what can she say to that?
Snapping off it though. She's like, well, you did it.
Yeah.
So
teenagers, snappy, sassy.
And then the girl didn't help by saying, when Dad was like, oh, do you miss not being in school? She's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, could you not say that, please? And Dad's like, so I don't have to go to school, and I can choose my own family.
Right, like stay in school, don't do drugs.
Yeah. Exactly. Don't have sex yet till you're like 85.
Right. Well, Fiona can't really say anything. Like at this point,
she can.
I get that she's older and she's, more mature and maybe. And
questionable.
And knows the consequences of having sex.
Right.
I think that's the difference. Deb doesn't realize what getting pregnant actually means.
Right.
And how much that would change her life. So that'll be interesting to see. And this, predictions territory. I don't think she's going to get pregnant. We've got 2 episodes left. I don't think it can end like that.
Yeah, I don't want her to, but but I think again, great writing, because you can totally see how in her mind how that would seem like a great option.
Yeah.
She's lived with all this chaos her entire life. She loves him, like he's a super. Finally, like we love that he's such a great guy.
Right.
So for her, it's kind of like making sense that this could be the better option for her.
And her household is so crazy. I mean, I had friends like that in high school where you could just do whatever. Like their moms did not care. Yeah. My mom was not like that.
Yeah, me either.
Anybody step foot, now she's like, who is that?
Oh, that's funny. Well, one thing about her family is they do always have each other's backs.
Yes.
Right? So it's a South Side rule, that's just what it is. And so with this episode, again, we see Lip having Kev's back when Kev is selling a half price, what does he call them, dime bags?
Spice weed.
Yeah.
Half-cut
and
spice.
We find out that it is this laced synthetic weed.
That was awful.
I know, it was like zombie apocalypse in the
exactly
dorm, like the way that
I have been there. It is very scary.
Girl,
yes.
I want to hear.
It was very scary. I just had like a little bit of a pot brownie once. And I swear I was once, never again. That kid that was hitting his head against, I was like, oh my God, that was me.
You're finding the porthole.
I was opening and closing a cabinet. It was the only place I was comfortable. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah, so I was like, that. It's the worst.
I mean, not funny,
like
but
7 hours.
I was just going to ask how long.
Kevin, why did you do that? But he didn't know, so.
Well, and it's so funny. What is the character's name? My fault, I don't know. The kid that jumped out of the window?
Oh my God, what's his name?
Yeah, I didn't get that down either.
I really like him.
Yeah, I like him too.
He jumps out of the window and we hear him go, oh God, I think I broke my rhinoceros.
Yeah.
And so Lip runs over to the window and he's looking and he's like, oh God, like this isn't going to be good. Like we can't call the cops. These kids are like tripping balls in our dorm room, a dorm room that you can't even live in. Yeah. And so he drives him to his teacher's house and thinks that her husband can help because she calls him doctor.
Yeah.
But he's a doctor of theology.
Yeah. What does that even mean?
Well, you can be, you can get your doctorate.
Your doctorate,
but you can't be a medical doctor.
Oh, okay. I was
right.
like, what? I'm so confused.
So he can't do anything. So she has to call the cops, but she was nice enough to take one for the team.
And nice we saw the moment too where she gave him a good, I like her character a lot, but a good time where she was like basically gave him his wake up call, and I thought that was a great way because I didn't want, after he's worked so hard and got his tuition paid for, I was like, I can't see this. I can't see the cops come and bust him and no.
Right.
So I like that she gave him the wake up call and that he listened.
Yeah, that's true. I do too. And I liked that she said, you got to get over the fact that stuff is now falling at your feet. Like the world is giving you things now, and you just need to accept that.
Drop the gangster stick.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that she said that.
I did too. But what do you think about that whole relationship? Because we didn't see much more with her and her husband now to see why this is okay, why they have an open relationship. Like, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, I love her. I think she's incredibly sexy, and I like to see the two of Lip with her. Like, I wasn't hurt when he like kind of turned Amanda down for her. I was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of done with Amanda's cute, love it, but it's like,
I'm done with her.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Amanda.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Bye bye.
She's sweet, but she could be with what's her name, Muff.
Let's do it now. We'll just call
Carpet
her
muncher.
Muff lady. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, clearly we've learned that this is her pattern because he's like, oh, you're the new boy, or you're new, so they've had this going for a while, and she must like her young college boys. But so. I don't like this strangeness of it all, but I like the two of them together. So.
I think it's totally weird and awkward, but at least they're staying together and whatever's keeping their marriage working. People do weird ass things to stay married, and so
at least Lip's getting a good breakfast.
exactly. Let's crave for mom.
I was like, I'll take a sweet one. Nutella.
Where am I crave at?
Especially in college, man, I was like folding up bread and like squishing it
Ramen,
down,
honey.
and like eating it.
Ramen and
College earlier this morning. Oh my gosh, and the peanut butter on on
we
his
both do
bread.
that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, what she
fill you up
said.
for a
No wonder
minute.
you have cancer. And we were like,
Yeah, I did it right before I came here today. So
That'll fill you up for a
Protein
minute.
powder is good.
That'll fill you up.
That's funny. So the kid that broke his leg in the hospital bed at the end, I love when he was screwing with Lip.
I thought he was serious.
That
I was
he,
like, damn.
that he, was giving up Kev to the Fed or to the police.
Right.
And then he was like, "Are you kidding? Like they've got people with gunshot wounds.
Yeah.
And whatever. They don't care about
got
us."
his dick cut off next to me. I think
Oh my
you're okay.
God. I was like, yep, shouldn't have been cheating. That's right. I'm all about it, girl.
You. Oh my gosh.
I don't
Girl
play.
power.
I don't play.
That's Drea.
Cut it off.
Oh my gosh, so funny. But yeah, and even he said at the end, which I think really stuck with Lip, where I'm from, we got each other's backs, which is what he was saying
I
from the
thought that
beginning.
meant that he was maybe going to go back and tell Kev he could live with him for a second. Like, just for 1 second, I thought maybe that's what he was thinking. Like, maybe I should have had Kev's back more, but maybe that wasn't what he was thinking.
No, go ahead.
Well, I think it was kind of cool because I think it showed Lip making this choice, but that was always his motto. So I think for me, it kind of showed that he could make this choice to be in college, but still also be around the same group of people that still
I like that theory better. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that better.
I think so too. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. And I don't disagree with the fact that Lip was kicking him out. I think that he needed to go back.
I can't believe he did it.
Yeah.
I can't believe he did it because I know it was probably hard because you're supposed to have each other's backs and, and Kev was sort of making a good point. I was like, well, he said he won't sell weed and everybody does like him, so.
You just love him and you're just obsessed
I know.
and nothing he could do is ever
I don't know
wrong.
what you're talking about. 512-947. Steve, I love you.
Okay, so let's move on to Kevin and Vito because they're finally back in the same bed at the end of the episode.
Love it.
With the two girls in the same bed too.
Dead.
It's finally full circle. The family's all together. It's really
die for
nice to
them.
see them like that.
Yeah, and even just the two, I mean, just looking at each other,
even have
just
to
like
say
I
anything.
loved it. Loved it. Yeah.
I love him.
We'll see what they say next episode. Do you think it's going to be kind of just like, you know what, it's done. We're over it. Let's just move on and be back together because we both miss each other. Do you think they're going to?
I think they're going to have a minute. And then they're going to do something weird before the end of the season. And for the finale, then we're going to be wondering what the hell. That's what I think. They're going to do something like, oh, we might get divorced. Something like that.
I think before the season we are going to have some wild, crazy sex scene because, I expected, we were hoping when they came back that they would just go. I know.
I'm not even the one having sex with them, and I'm like,
I know. Just rip her. Just do it. Come on.
They look similar. I mean, what? Continue. Sorry.
If he ever comes in here, it's just gonna be crazy.
Do not tell me. I'm serious. I can't.
no, you'll have to be here.
No, I will not.
You'll be handcuffed over there because
honey. I'm like, Steve. I've been waiting for you my whole life.
she rips his clothes off.
but just be careful, Steve, because she will cut your dick off.
Yeah. Honey, I don't play. I don't play. But for you, Steve, maybe.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, it was nice too at the end. You could tell that they were both taking care of the kids more. They wasn't still together,
Right.
but they had a routine down with each other.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that kind of lets them move on, and it's just easier when they
hope
do get back
so.
together because they will get back together.
They
You heard it here first.
They will.
Haley's
They have
decided.
to,
So.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm now writing the show. If you didn't know, so they're getting back together, and it'll all be great. No, I just love them. They've been my favorite couple this whole season.
Yeah, they're my favorite couple on TV. Period. I love them. I do.
Rivaled with Mickey and Ian.
Okay, and I was
Yeah,
just saying we were
that's
saving
true.
them for
Couples,
the
yeah.
end,
You're right. You're right.
which
I
we
know,
still
yeah,
can.
we won't talk about it.
because that was the big
Yeah.
chunk of. But they're awesome. I think the character that we've seen progress emotionally the most these last couple episodes is Frank, actually, which surprisingly,
It's kind of weird. I'm watching it and I'm like,
Yes.
what?
but it's nice.
It is.
Yeah.
It's different to see him so in love. I think he's honestly falling for this girl.
I agree. Last week I wasn't for it. I was like,
neither.
I didn't need to see it. It just seemed awkward.
Too much time. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
all right, let's
exactly. I
move
felt
on
like it's
here.
too.
I get
Exactly.
it.
Yeah. I didn't care about her enough for it to be so much. But now, seeing how it's changed him and what he's going through this week. I mean, we noticed for the first time we're he didn't even finish his drink at the bar
And he's never done
Frank
that.
never not finishes his drink.
So it is fun to see a different side of him versus kind of just the guy we've seen.
I
the
keep
bad
waiting
guy so
for
much.
him to have an angle. I keep waiting for it. I mean,
Right.
she is dying. So
I think that's what was refreshing though. Is I really think they're is not one this time. Do we think that's possible?
Maybe
Is that possible?
maybe to Frank, he thinks
she can.
It's
put
not
him
as much
on-
of a commitment because he knows she is dying, so
maybe.
she can still. But that also doesn't really make sense because he's honestly trying to help this girl like live
It
every day to the
seems
fullest
like it,
before
yeah.
she, passes away.
And we see like last week he didn't take her money out of the wallet, like, and
know.
he's not drinking. Even
Didn't
like
try
you
to have
said,
sex with her.
Yeah,
He put a tie on.
yeah.
Oh, I
Tried to take a
died.
shower.
I know.
Squirted his balls. Like, come
that
on,
was
that's
so
a big
funny.
effort.
I loved when he had the flowers.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Right, he's actually making an effort, which you don't see. It's still,
No.
again, it's not towards his own family.
No,
but he's
ever.
making an effort.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what do you think about the doctor? She has a couple conversations with her sister Elizabeth. And her sister leaves, storms off, and says, "You're so selfish." And we find out it's because she doesn't want to go through chemo.
Yeah.
What do you think about her as a character,
The sister?
Bianca, the doctor?
I like her just because we do get to see Frank in a different way. I still don't know about how I feel like for her continuing on. There could be like some twist where she like doesn't die. I don't know. But for me, I just feel like Frank's just going to like try to get some money out of something. I do. I still feel that way. It's
There's
sweet
still
to see
some
him.
kind of something.
Yeah, I still feel like there's an angle. I mean, I like her, for him for these few episodes, but not any further than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, JJ?
Yeah, it's funny you say that about maybe she didn't die, because for a second when she was leaning out the window, I thought she was gonna say
Right.
that she wasn't either. Like maybe she
She
made
wasn't
it up
sick or
something.
what,
Yeah, something. But yeah, no, I agree. Like I like seeing this side of Frank, but I'm not crazy about seeing the two of them. I mean. Yeah,
Doesn't do much for the storyline for you.
Yeah, no, but but I like the choice that she doesn't want to go through chemo and that she
Yeah.
wants to die on her own terms. Because I'm a big fan of that. Like, I don't,
Yeah, choosing what you want to your body. Yeah.
exactly. However you want to. Yeah. So I like that issue being addressed.
Yeah. I kind of think that she's going to be Frank's saving grace. I think she's going to be
so.
here just long enough for him to realize that he can actually feel something again for someone.
I hope
Or,
so.
someone's going to impact him to maybe want to be
Or maybe
a
she
little
could
bit
be
better
the
of
new
a person.
Monica, because he loved Monica, right? He really loved Monica.
Well,
So
yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
she
he
could
did.
be
He did.
the new Monica.
So who knows? We shall see.
I
I'm always
hope
so
so.
confused at the end. Not confused because I don't know what's going on, but it's like, how much more can they change this show? It's, come on.
I know. I agree.
Oh my
I
goodness.
Yeah, they hit you from all every different
they do.
character is all going like, this one was a little intense for me this time. Like it was all kind of down and serious, and there was a lot of issues going on.
Well,
this
and
week.
we see, they changed it again. Fiona is back with Sean, which I think we all predicted. That was not,
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
something we totally thought was coming. But she's there, keeps saying, "I just want to make sure you're okay." And he's like, "Why are you here, Fiona? Like, why are you trying to help me?" And she's like, "Well, because I think she even said at one point, we're buds, like we're buddies."
Yeah.
He was a little snotty to her.
we're
What did he say to her in the
friends.
bar? What did he say to her in the bar? You wanted to sleep with me, or what? Did he
Oh,
say?
because I didn't
Yeah,
want to
'cause
fuck you a
Yes,
month ago.
that's
or-
what he said. I was like, damn. I'd have been like, bye. You pay my check. I'm leaving.
And then the melon head in the back.
Yeah.
He calls him a melon head. I thought that was so funny. He's like, "Hey, mind your own business." And he comes up and beats the shit out of Sean, which he wanted.
No, that's what I'm saying. It seems like he wanted a fight, sort of similar. I know we're moving a little forward to Ian, of like, if you're not drinking or doing anything, it's sort of like you just want some sort of feeling and somebody punching you in the face. It's like he literally wanted that guy to beat him up.
Right. Yep.
To sort of numb the pain from his son leaving. Because obviously a Coke wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's the first time we saw his wife on the show, or his ex-wife.
Oh, yeah. She just popped up.
You know what? When she wasn't mean, like you expected her to be mean because she was taking the kids away
Right.
and moving
I know,
across,
I thought
to
that too.
Pittsburgh, and I'm pretty sure it was Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and
Pittsburgh.
she was like, "I don't want to do this, but I
Yeah.
need a job, and it's got benefits and paid vacation."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Well, that's life,
And you got
That's
a
kinda
kid.
life."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was sweet to Fiona, she was trying to help her get her to understand. So you're right, you couldn't hate her because you went understood,
Yeah. And I understand where Sean's coming from too, and so it's hard to see him so hurt. But I do give him props because he does acknowledge how hard it is every week that he's not, relapsing.
Yeah.
And he really does do whatever it takes so that he doesn't, shoot up again.
And I like that he had that moment with her where he's like, I'm never going to be okay. Like, this is like a permanent thing, and do you understand that?
Right. It was like, stop asking me.
Right.
Like, this is what it is.
Yeah, I could always be on the verge of relapsing. It's
Right.
just-
Yeah.
That's what it is.
When she nodded, and I think that's kind of what we talked about last week, why we thought they would end up back together, because that they do both have their, she has her family and her issues and stuff, but that he just can understand things more on that level where they have that connection. And so do you think well, I mean, to me, it's like she can't go back to Gus. If somebody calls, which... I mean, I get in the situation they were supposed to have Skype sex. He didn't, didn't call her. But again, he could have had some moment to be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I can't,"
text or something.
Yeah, something, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm in a
and then-
long distance relationship, and as much as you want to be like, why didn't you call me? There's so many things that randomly come up. So for me, I totally understood, and I'm like, Gus is on tour.
Honey, no.
Someone could have called him and been like, hey, we need you guys to play earlier, and like whatever.
I'm gonna be busy.
Listen,
there you go.
I get it, but I just shit happens.
Yeah,
okay? And if
I'm with you on that one, though.
Each other, it's like, but I understand they had a date.
You trust each other, and they're going through something.
Well,
so
right.
at
Okay,
this
true.
point,
True.
everything is like charged. So any missed call,
Totally agree.
text, anything, ooh.
True, but does
I
that give
definitely
her the
agree on that
right
one.
to go
No,
and kiss
at all.
Sean?
No, and
No,
that's where I
that's-
think.
you're
I'm
right.
with you. I think there. No matter what comes up, I've been in long distance relationships too. You can have
They
the
suck.
second to
I don't
say
do all that.
yes,
I
they
can't.
do suck. But you can take the 2 seconds now with texting to be like, even if you don't have no time to talk, I'll explain later.
They even got custom texting.
You know?
They even got custom text. You ain't got to do nothing. You just press a little button. It's all right there.
But I think at this point, if by her then not answering his call, then when he did call and just saying, "Hey, let me call you back. I'm in the middle of something," that to me that shows that they're not really. They're just, like it's just not on that level that it needs to be, especially for marriage. But that's just my opinion.
And Fiona he kissed her, I know, but I was like, girl, come on.
Yeah, but she wanted it too. She was just staring like.
I know.
She's wanted it since she couldn't
Yes.
have it a month ago.
That's who she is. Tell her no, and she's like, what?
Yeah.
That's so true. Every time she can't have something, that's
Yeah.
when she wants it.
That's when she wants it.
So you think that it's going to be Team Sean now?
Oh, honey, yes, for sure.
What if you had your way though? Who do you like better? Sean or Gus?
I guess Sean, because he's a total nutbag. I mean, he is. He's crazy. He can't. I mean, he's an alcoholic, drug addict, and she's nuts. And I think Gus is just too square for her. That's what I think.
And her family.
I agree.
All that family.
I agree. Like I love
And her
Gus.
family.
I love Gus.
Oh, honey, I do too.
Yeah, but I think if I'm gonna choose, especially with Gus being on the road or being in the band, I just think she needs Sean. I think they need
And
to
that puts her in a place to cheat. Fiona don't have
Yes.
any limitations for herself.
Exactly.
If you're gone, she's like, Shh,
Yeah.
well.
Well, even when they're there though,
Yeah.
she cheats. It's
yeah.
like, is this girl ever not gonna cheat?
But that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be even worse if he's gone.
Right.
So
True.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of
What was that? She just lifts her shirt.
I like that too.
anyway.
But I mean that's kind of her addiction, It's like bad relationships, bad sex, good sex, crazy sex. It's like, and that's kind of like him and the drugs. So I think
And Sean really
make it all
knows
blend.
her. He knows her. So
He
that's
calls
what-
her out on everything that she does,
Which is
Like,
awesome.
yeah.
Someone's got to.
Exactly.
Which to me was awkward at first with this relationship because they did have a thing, and then
Yeah.
when she was always like saying stuff about having sex with Gus or married, it was like, wait a second, it's weird to talk about somebody that you kind of had a thing with,
Right.
But it's on its way back now, so it's all good.
Like it is.
They both do. They just talk about everything, which is probably why they're so good for each other because everything's out in the open.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and she was the one.
No
She
secrets.
immediately called him when Gus didn't call, like right after,
Right.
so or didn't Skype. So
True.
he's on her mind.
So we're gonna see this develop for sure. I'm Team Sean.
Can't even keep up with
I
all
think
that.
the last one, not to spoil, but the last one is called like Love Gallagher style, right? The like last episode
That'll
finale,
probably
I
include
believe.
some
So I think we might.
Debbie
I
and
think.
Luca situation, I'm sure.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yep.
Well, before we
that
move
for
on to our favorite couple of the evening, I just want to say I can't believe Fiona didn't beat the shit out of Sammy. We can
Yes.
get onto that, but I can't believe that no one has punched Sammy in the face.
I agree. Of all the people getting the shit kicked out of him this episode, that would have been the first one. She should have been drugged down those steps, locked out of the house. She's not even supposed to be there right now anyway. And then to pull some stuff like that, like, no, there's no way. I can't
thought
believe
Mickey in the preview for the next one was going to have somebody do a little something, a little beat up. I don't know. But I'm like, why is she still standing there with no marks on her face?
Yeah, I would have whooped a bitch.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Not that I have the muscles to fight, but I would have figured it out.
Totally. No, when you're that situation like that would make you so angry and so like that your instinct, it would come out of you,
right?
Just,
like Popeye.
Yeah.
You figured out.
Okay, so let's talk about Ian and Mickey. So right at the beginning of the episode, Mickey is taking care of Ian, which is, for me at least, really nice to see. He's got the routine down of all the medicine. You know, he lists them all and then gives him the Gatorade, and he's telling him he can't, can't take it on an empty stomach. You know, yeah. So he's really being that awesome boyfriend that I think we all finally wanted to see.
Yeah,
which is great. But we see Ian still struggling with really not feeling anything. So he, does a couple things, to try to feel some things. One being he sticks his hand directly on the griddle at his work.
So bad.
At first it was kind of weird because he sat there for a second and didn't do anything. I was like, oh my God, maybe he really can't feel anything.
Maybe it's like a dream or something, or the guy was going to stop him.
Yeah. And then you see that the burns and oh gosh, first of all I was like, oh God, that had to hurt. We all were. That has to hurt so bad.
You get it's so painful,
and then it just throbs
and then he wraps it up and kind of keeps going with everyday motions. Doesn't want to do anything about it. But do you think that was him really trying to see if he could feel anything on these meds?
Absolutely, because he seems completely zombied out. He's not feeling anything. He's talking to people, and there's just like this complete haze over him the whole time. So he's like, I want to do something that for sure I know I'm going to feel. But that was just that was really nuts.
That was a lot. And when he first went home, even Sammy kind of took care of him, and I was like, oh, maybe she's.
I know, but what
had
was
a little change of heart.
I know. It's like, was she thinking that the whole time? Did she already know?
No, because he said when she was wrapping his hand, something about the other scar on his hand, and he got that in the army, and then that's why the people are looking for me. So that's how she found out. That bitch.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was interesting how they dropped that little nugget because I kind of forgot that they were still looking for him, at this point. But yeah.
Well, and that's a whole other storyline that now we'll see next week for sure more of. But
I kind of forgot
can
about
they
it.
really blame him or really prosecute him if he's bipolar?
No,
I don't think so either.
Because I don't think you can with that kind of mental illness. I mean, and after seeing all of his breakdowns and everything, it would have been totally normal for him to have some kind of episode and run away.
Yeah, they're gonna look into that for sure, and he'll probably get. I'm sure he won't go to jail or anything.
Yeah, I think so. Especially now that he was in treatment and it's been diagnosed and all the stuff. Yeah.
I think he'll be fine.
Right.
I hope. And we just hope they kick Sammy's ass.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that. And that, that line, well, now you know what it feels like to have someone, someone you love get taken away from you.
And they were going to go on the date.
It's like,
I know. Yeah.
Two wrongs don't make a right. They just always have to get back at each other. And it's just never going to end.
No.
It just keeps going and going.
And the episode felt like it was on the up. I mean, I know they beat each other up at the park, which was so weird. I was like, see, that's guy stuff.
Kind of cute.
Yeah.
I know. In like a weird way. It was like,
and we knew we're like, they're going to have
just
sex.
getting it out.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, okay, do your thing. Whatever. I'm not going to hit my face, but.
Right? It's two guys. I mean, it's guys. It doesn't matter who they're dating.
Exactly.
They like to wrestle and whatever.
Exactly.
But, and it's funny because Ian, because of his meds, drinks one beer and he is wasted. And when they're coming home, they're singing the Minotaur.
Yeah, it's almost a battlefield. Oh, they were fighting in battle and they're in love.
And so it's so funny to see them, and they're gonna go on a date, guys.
I know,
right? A nice dinner where they put on nice shirts, and
and
then they're going to the Sizzler.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, sure, the Sizzler.
Oh man, and that's I think what broke my heart the most is he finally seemed back to normal a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought so too. It was like poor guy can't catch a break. It's like he's processing both of them. I mean, are processing all this heavy stuff and finally get their relationship, kind of back a little bit. A little nugget of and then Sammy just ruins it all.
It's your bad hair.
Yeah.
I was waiting until you mentioned that. Honestly, every episode.
And especially now that Chuck...
This is the third time. I'm like, what is up with her hair?
And now that Chucky's not there, come on, we don't need her. Like, Chucky was, we love him, but if he's not going to be there, then let's just get rid of her.
Speaking of Chucky and Carl, we didn't see him this episode. Do you think we're going to see more of that storyline this season?
I think so.
Of course, yeah, for sure.
Or at least a last little tidbit to make
think
us think
something.
while we have to wait for the next season.
I think they'll be back. Maybe next episode.
Yeah, I hope so. That is so funny.
It's only 2 left.
Well, and they were
Yeah.
sending Carl a package.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
JJ.
yeah.
They
And
mentioned him.
little Liam
Nunchucks.
put in nunchucks. It's like, oh no, here comes Liam. He's
starting,
getting
yeah.
older and he's putting violent things in a box to send to Juvie.
Oh my God.
Of course.
Like, take care of it,
Well,
brother Carl.
speaking of him, pretty funny too with being and watching him just watching Mickey and Ian.
Oh
He was like, well, maybe because.
Jeez, the
Right at the
trauma,
beginning.
The
Oh
trauma
my God, I was
of
like,
that child. I know.
poor
It's like, what
Yeah.
is going on over there?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was intense.
That house is
Yeah.
so, like, could you imagine living in that place with so many people and they're all in the same room
Yeah.
and
Well, even
like, you
Dad
have
is
no
like,
privacy.
oh, we could have sex on the kitchen table in front of all of them. It doesn't matter, you know?
I had a friend like that in high school. Her parents didn't give a damn, and there was like 4 of them, and they just did whatever they wanted. I would always say I would spend the night at her house because I just do whatever I wanted, you know.
right, exactly. There were no rules.
None.
Still,
Yeah.
it's got to be like, oh, I don't know. That would have to be so weird still. But it's not. They walk in on each other all the time or, you know, they're all over the house. It's
Yeah.
like, whatever.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine living. I mean, my parents were so strict. Could never imagine.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to.
Not anymore. I'm a grown lady now. And Steve, I love you.
Right, exactly. Oh, there was one line that I thought was really, really funny. If anyone else has them, we can throw the lines we loved. Frank called Elizabeth, Bianca's sister, a cock-blocking Laura Bush. And I thought it was so funny and
I
like so
love that.
spot on with her haircut. And she was in like nice, like polished clothing. Oh, that was so funny. That had me laughing.
I liked Kev's teaching them stuff, you know, like gangsta shit and crabs.
Exactly. Oh my God, he is so funny. You have any?
Just Frank's pro bono sex and his lust for adventure. I was like, really? He's just so delusional, and I really love it. 'Cause
Right?
He's like legit serious. He's like, I'll have sex with her.
Yeah.
I mean, pro bono.
Yeah, like he's doing her a favor. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, how about that girl he was having sex with in the bathroom?
Yeah.
And he kept like, he was going through like it was a therapy session. And
my
he was saying
God.
everything, and she was like, please, just harder. Like,
Yeah.
baby, please, harder. And she finally was like, you know what, get off of me.
His moves were pretty awful.
Yeah, you're like, he's
Oh.
jumping. He's jumping.
That is not how it works.
Oh my gosh. Well, is there anything
good
else that
episode.
we, really need to cover?
No, I think we got
I think that was
all.
it. Yeah.
I think we probably have a lot of predictions, though.
Yeah.
So let's turn on those creepy lights and get into predictions.
Now, your AFTERBUZZ
Like a party.
Yeah, right? We just need some music. Okay, Drea,
my music.
you are up first.
Predictions. I do not think, as we already said, Ian's going to go to jail. I do
Okay.
not think that. I think Gus is going to come back, and it's going to be really awkward. And I think Frank and V are going to be fighting next episode.
Or
Okay.
Kevin V.
Frank. Oh yes, Kevin
yeah.
V. Sorry, thank you.
Frank fights with everyone. That's
That's
true.
true. Yeah, he probably will fight with her too.
Fighting. Okay. I do think Kevin V are gonna get. It's all gonna be good, and I think maybe by the end of next episode. Yeah, I'm afraid that Debs is really gonna try to get pregnant, but I hope
yeah,
that
for sure.
I hope that she does not get pregnant. And I think that Fiona is gonna pick Sean.
Okay, those are good. I heard Debbie in the scenes for next week say that they had a plan about Sammy. Because Fiona said, as much as I'd like to kick the shit out of her, I'm not going to torture her. But then I heard Debbie say,
yeah,
well, I
that's
have
right.
a plan. So I'm thinking that they're going to act like everything's okay and that, you know what, fine, we got you, you got us. And then
Yes.
they're going to do something
crazy.
to her
Absolutely they
to
are.
get
So.
back at her. Which they absolutely
Yeah.
should.
God, they should.
Screw her.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't like her.
No, me neither.
Okay. Well, that was a good episode. Really good episode.
Yes,
I'm
that's
excited
very
for
good.
next week. Thank you guys so much again for joining us. We always love having you on our after show. And if you want to comment on YouTube and subscribe to us on YouTube, that way you can watch everything and watch all of the other amazing after shows that AfterBuzz has to offer. And comment on our show. Let us know who you think Fiona is going to end up with and all those crazy comments, because we like to comment back with you.
Yes.
So, I am, again, Hayley Clover, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Hayley Clover. JJ, where can they find you?
I'm at JJ Jurgens on Twitter, Jurgens JJ on Instagram, and my blog at tomgirl.tv.
And I'm Drea Renee, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DreaRenee_N.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks so much again.
Yay.
See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.